Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Lance Crone here, and I'm bringing you another controversial video. What can I say? Uh, the whole thing today, I want to chat with you guys pretty much about all the scary crap that happens when we're dieting. And one of the big things is that, as you see in the headline here, if you're treating your fat loss goals like playing slots at the casino, waking up, not sure if the work that you put in yesterday is going to show up on the scale, but you're praying like crazy it does, that is not a good fitness plan if you're looking to have long-term success. Just going to go ahead and throw that out there right now. Thing of it is that I used to do this. This was my routine. I had a really, really good understanding of working out, and I had a very, very poor understanding of nutrition because I learned so many myths and misnomers. And this was as a trainer. This was going through nutrition seminars and things like this. And the reality is that the stuff that they were teaching was some of it was just absolutely garbage. And here, it's just no wonder that so many people are confused about how to get fat loss. So the thing of it is that if you're living like this and you're actually in bondage, it's just the truth. You're probably living in a ton of rigidness and you don't have flexibility or food freedom. And unfortunately, you're probably clinging to the scale on a regular basis and feeling and having good days when the scale was where you felt that it should be, and having your day wrecked whenever that scale did not say a number that reflected your hard work and effort. Can you relate? These are things that I have gone through. These are things that my clients have gone through. As I've been a fitness coach for 15 years now, the things that I have seen, the things that I have witnessed, I'm telling you what, there are some things, some struggles that people will struggle with over and over and over and never ask some of the questions to get themselves out of there. So that's what I'm doing today. So nevertheless, here's the deal. Dieting typically involves a lot of scary wondering and focus on the scale. And I don't just mean like dieting or like cutting fat. I'm not talking about systematically reducing your calories. I'm talking about your standard dieting to where instead of understanding the metabolism and understanding energy balance, you're simply eating foods that you were told to eat and you don't know why you're losing weight other than you're simply losing weight. Or you're doing something like keto or paleo or intermittent fasting, and you believe that you're losing weight because there's something magic about those diets, as opposed to the real science that it's because you've reduced your calories and so forth. Okay? So here's what happens though. This sort of dieting where you don't understand the why behind the what, this is what puts you in bondage, because let me paint you a picture. You've cut out all your carbs, you're doing good, you've smelled buttery, flaky rolls and biscuits, and you've not had one bite of the cereal, the Cinnamon Toast Crunch that you used to eat, at least I used to eat it. You've not had any of that. You've not had a bite of candy. You've had no carbs for the last 30 days, and you've dropped a lot of body fat, okay? And now it's been the next 2 weeks, and you're losing a lot less. You're doing the same things. You haven't had a carb. You've not gone outside of your normal, but you stopped losing. You stepped on the scale now. What the heck? I haven't had a carb. I'm not even having a dream of a carb. And here and the scale didn't move? What gives? Did the diet not really work? Did I not understand? Did I do something wrong? No, that wasn't it. The real problem is that you had a lack of an understanding, unfortunately. It's not your fault. It's not your fault at all. Whose fault it is, well, it's a lot of them. They include, so many trainers, so many coaches, so many authors, so many gurus. But the fact is that there's a lot of faults. It's not yours, though. The issue is that you were told something that would work. You weren't really given the why behind it. And here's the problem. It stopped working for you and you don't know what to change. How do you cut out more carbs whenever you're already not eating carbs? If the whole premise of this working is cutting out carbs makes me lose fat, and I step on the scale and I lost nothing, how do I cut out more carbs if that's the whole plot? It's because it's a gimmick. It's not. It's not the whole plot. It's not the whole story. But this is what you're up against, though, whenever you're following a diet instead of learning the why behind the what. This is what you're up against whenever you're told a style of workout, told what to do, and you do the monkey see, monkey do, instead of really contemplating or understanding or internalizing why you're doing what you're doing. What would you do if you had an injury? What would you do if that machine weren't there? Could you swap it? Would you know what to do? If not, then this is why your fat loss goals are basically the same as playing slots at a casino. Because you're pulling slots and you're seeing the stuff spin, so there's work being done. But it's going to be just random. It's going to be random for you if you're going to see the triple, if you're going to see the blackjack, if you will. Are you going to see the scale continue to move when you don't have a system to follow after? You can't cut out more carbs when there's no carbs to cut out, and you're not losing anymore. So the thing of it is that programs with a system that helps you keep your mind in check, along with knowing if you're being too neurotic or looking for bad data. Ooh, that's a big one. Looking only at the scale instead of looking at measurements, looking at photographs to actually see if what you think you see is what you really see. These are the things that keep anxiety low so that you can focus on what truly moves the needle on your fat loss and your muscle sculpting. If you're too busy worried about if the scale's going to move because you're not even sure if what you're doing is working or why it works or how it works, you're going to have a lot of inhibitions and a lot of anxieties. You're going to be afraid to eat things. You're going to be afraid that if you have a carb, it might mean that you balloon back up. You might be afraid that if you go back to something normal, you might, regain the muffin top. Or you might fear that if you miss a workout, that your progress is all going down the tubes. These are the very things that I used to freak out about all the time because I didn't understand what really mattered. I just didn't. I was eating all the power foods, and I knew to do protein, and I understood a little about carbs and kind of what their purpose was. And fats as far as the hormones. I knew the stuff that I was taught as a trainer, but I'm just being real with you guys. I did not understand what I understand now, which is the energy balance, how to control the metabolism, and how to have food freedom for life. And you can't have that if you're just following a plug-and-play sort of thing where somebody tells you what to do and you're not really learning how to utilize this in the real world. Because what happens is you do all the right things, you plug in all the right properties, you eat all the right things, and then you step on the scale because you weren't taught to look at other data markers or to focus on mindset or to focus on long-term solutions for long-term problems. So you step on the scale and you beat yourself up because you don't know what happened, what went wrong this week or last week or over this last month. All you knew is that this diet was working and now it's not. And this is what happens when you don't have a system. This is what happens when you don't know the why behind the what. So the fact is that when we follow a program and we know the what and not just the why behind the what, we get hyper-focused on things that make us, listen to this, crazy, and that takes our joy away and causes anxiety. I've seen it with clients. I've done it myself. I'm telling you, this is what happens. We focus on all the things that don't move the needle, and then eventually we come to a point of apathy or exhaustion, depending on where you are on the high achiever level. Some people will grind themselves to oblivion and they won't give up no matter what, but they're doing all the things wrong. They're never going to get where they want to go. So the thing of it is that when you don't know how many calories that you need, how often to work out, or what the science is that, that allows or causes fat loss or muscle building, this is what's going to lead to major overthinking and inhibition. It's just the truth. 15 years in the coaching field now, and this is what I've seen. And the thing of it is that this isn't healthy if you're wanting long-term success. It's just not. So what's the solution? What do we do? The solution is to get a firm grasp on what the science is and to start with the end in mind. Rather than just starting a diet simply to drop pounds, think about what caused you to get where you are right now. The habits, the mindset. Have you had beliefs about yourself that were negative, that when those things came up in your mind, you noticed that you were emotionally eating more so? Or when you've had bad weeks at work, have you found yourself leaning towards a little bit more towards wine, alcohol, and fatty foods or things like that? I know I have. If this is the case, you're focusing on the micro and you're not keeping the main things the main thing. The other issue is that you're living in bondage, because this is going to keep you exactly where you don't want to be, where you don't get to eat the foods that you want ever, or when you do, you feel guilty and shameful about it. Or when you miss a workout, you freak out, beat yourself up. Or when you're doing all the right things and the scale doesn't move and it wrecks your day or maybe your week. You don't want to go try on clothes anymore, so you start wanting to give up. Or you go into maybe this mode, and this is where I've been before. If you're the quintessential high achiever or overachiever, dare I say, you grind yourself into oblivion. So you start doing 2 days instead of working out once a day. You start cutting your calories even more, You cut out even more fun things in life. But here's what starts happening. Start feeling a little bit more irritable with people. Your confidence isn't where it needs to be, and you're very confused as to why what you used to do is no longer working for you, so you feel out of control. Your certainty has decreased quite a bit, and it's starting to bleed into other areas of your life. So at first it was just the scale because of how you saw yourself and how you felt about the scale and what it represented for you. But now it's been a few weeks, and now it's starting to affect your work. Did I lose that sale because I was thinking about my weight and because I was thinking about how I'm not the same person I used to be? All because of the scale? Is this what's happening to me? Did I pick that fight with my wife the other day because I felt insecure all day, and when she complimented me and I just thought there was no way and thought maybe she was being, facetious or sarcastic, so I picked a fight with her? Did that happen? Now, that didn't happen to me, but that's happened to me, though. It didn't happen to me the other day. That has happened, though. These things that I'm talking about, these are all things that I've been there. Now, again, maybe you've never been. Maybe you've not had those insecurities that I've got, or that I've had, or that I've battled. But if you're watching and you have, and this is relating, and this is resonating, you need a system. You need a system, and you need someone to model after, and you need empathy so that you can get out of your own way when you mess up and you're out of alignment, and you can know precisely tomorrow when you step on the scale, or this Friday, coming, that it's time to step on the scale and do your measurements. You don't have to wonder if the scale is going to be down. You're going to know precisely what's going to happen, and you're going to know what to do about it. That's what a system does. So that's what our Master Your Body Confidence program does for our clients. So if that's you, if you want to know more information, if you're tired of living that life of anxiety and worry and wonder, if each time that you step on the scale, it's going to be a good day or a bad day, if you're tired of wondering what foods to eat and which ones not to eat, and if you've got to live a life that means no sugars, no sweets, no enjoyment, no pleasure, just to be healthy and fit, It's not necessary. So, nevertheless, if you're interested, if you want to have relief from those things, comment below. Heck yes. Or shoot me a DM. Let's chat. Let's chat a little bit about your struggles, your goals. Let's see if and how I can help you get out of your own way to get the results that you want physically, but so that you can start getting out of your way and you can actually love yourself, love what you see in the mirror, and feel truly confident and certain each day in your life that you're bringing your best and you've got the energy today, tomorrow, and the next day to keep doing it day after day. That's what's available. But you have to decide it. Thanks for watching. I hope that this resonates. If you feel it does, if you feel like this is something that connects and you're bold enough to say it, comment #resonates below. These are things that I've been through a million times. All I'm offering is just a way out of that. Because my life is significantly greater than what it used to be. Because, my gosh, man, overthinking was my middle name. So, nevertheless, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Can't wait to see you on the next one. Be sure to comment and let me know where you're watching from. And be sure to catch me on the next one.